Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, October 13th, 2019. So we're gonna look at UJ. I'm just gonna do a little technical analysis over UJ. That'll be the pair I'll be watching mostly this week, and a couple other USD pairs as well. But UJ, USDJPY, in case you don't know the abbreviation, is probably one of the biggest pairs, obviously, traded on the market. And the reason I'm going to be watching it extra close this week is because of what I see going on in the market. We'll go over that right now. Hopefully, this video is a little shorter for you guys, but let's go ahead and jump right into it. So anyways, what we're looking at here is the daily chart. As you can see here, I look at mainly three time frames: the hourly, the 4 hour, and the daily. Okay, now I usually only look at the daily for the bigger picture at the end of the day. 2 o'clock my time is when it happens. That would be the swap during the week, and that's when the next day begins as far as the market's concerned. So I'll look at see the bigger picture then, but otherwise I look at the 4 hour and the hourly when making my actual entry decisions on where I'm going to get in on either a buy or a sell. So let's go ahead, and I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos. I only got a couple, but and we'll be going over some more of this more, as I make more videos. So eventually you guys will hear about how I'm doing and why I'm doing this enough times that it'll definitely be embedded in your head for sure. So what I do, this is now this there's I'm not going to say there's a right or wrong way to do this. I learned this from another guy, another person on YouTube, and it lines up with a lot of other methods that are similar or the same. And if you're doing it right, you'll see the correlation when you look left to how it matches up with other areas that it's come in contact with and acted as either a support or a resistance zone. Okay, so I don't usually go that far left necessarily. Usually I try to keep it as recent and close to the price as possible. And so here we go, guys. Right now, the closest to price is where I've got some lines that I already threw up here for you, and I'll just explain what we're looking at. What I go off of, and I do this on a 4 hour or an hourly or any time frame, this goes into play. As I look for in this case, since we got the market in a bullish market heading up, we're looking for the last recent area of resistance where you had, like, in this, what I'm referring to is like a bull or a bearish candle fully engulfing a bullish candle here. So that's what we've got now. I know we've got one here as well, and there's one even closer right here to price. I guess that's open to interpretation, but and these are other little areas and zones, because you can see where it lines up here. It came down and bounced off, and but keep in mind, we're wanting to look at the bigger picture. I mean, if you went and jumped on every fully engulfing candle, you'd have all kinds of lines, and that's not the idea. So I'm looking at an area that's going to match up in the market where you can see that the market has at least come and touched that area 3 times. That tells me it's a strong area, and I can look like we did here left and see that, well, it was previously support. The market came down here. Yeah, it came down. Well, that was where we had the flash crash, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But the market comes down below it a little bit. Not a big deal, whatever. But it does come back above it, and it continues to be support. Until it finally has a fully engulfing bearish candle here that broke through that area. Then it came up and tried to retest it. Didn't like it. We had a couple more retests, still didn't like it. Then it went down, and then now we're over here where we're at now at current time. So anyways, that's one of the reasons, I'm sitting and waiting. Now, keep in mind, I haven't made any decisions on whether I'm buying or selling this market yet, because it hasn't told me what it's doing. That's what we're waiting for Sunday to kind of decide and filter things out and tell us what it's going to either continue doing and go up continue to go up, or if it's going to come down off of this zone here like it's done in the past and bounce off and drop down again, and then make another determination at that point. Now the other thing I'm looking at here is I'm looking at the blue line here, which is a 200 EMA, and I'm waiting for this candle to be above that, because anytime we're underneath the 200 moving average, it's considered a downtrend, you know. And I've got a few other moving averages here. I got a 50. The red one's a 21, and then the yellow is an 8, and the white one here is a 3. So, anyways, don't worry about all those moving averages. That's just part of my trading plan. Some of the things I use. I mean, we'll go over those in some other videos, and you can decide if you want to utilize some of the same things as well. But that's how I've got my chart set up. Anyways, so I'm waiting for it to either go above this zone here and break above it and come down and retest it and then continue to go up to confirm it's going to be continuing in an uptrend, or I'm waiting for it to give me like another, you know, something like this, like a bullish engulfing, or bearish, I'm sorry, bearish engulfing candle, you know, up here after bouncing off the 200, coming into this zone and testing it, and then saying, no, it's coming down. And I'm looking at some of this, you know, this is coming up, you know, it's at, right now it's at like the 50 line, which is like a continuation line to me on the stochastic. That's how I interpret it. So if it continues above that, as it's done here before, then it's going to continue to be an uptrend. If it bounces off and comes down, then it'll stay below it, and it'll continue to be a downtrend. So we're just waiting on confirmations at this point. So if you're wondering where I think it might go if it does bounce off of this and continue continue back downward, let me throw that up for you here real quick. Now, we would be doing the same type thing going the opposite direction. So we're looking for a bearish engulfing candle on a bullish candle when we're in an uptrend. Now we're going to look for the closest. Now I say the closest because the market will have a reaction there. I mean, the closest would be right around here. You got a little, you know, little bit engulfing right here. It does line up with this area right here. The bottom does right there. And it does match up with some of this other stuff right there as well. But I'm not going to do that one because that wasn't necessarily the origin, because this right here covers that up there, you know, and that's where I would actually make my line, is off of this bottom movement here on this fully engulfing. It's a lot more prominent. You have a lot less red here and a lot bigger, you know, bullish engulfing. So I would draw my lines off this. Now, my rule is this: I go off of the wicks of candles on both ends. So off the candle that was engulfed. So there's a bullish engulfing on the bearish. So I'm going to put the lines right there off of this bottom wick of the bearish candle. Now, if you look, this lines up really nice, and you could, you know, you can move it up a little bit if you wanted to line up with this top one to get the bottom of this right here in there. I'm not too concerned about it. But as you can see, this is an area that it's dropped down through, come up and tested it, and then stayed down, retested, stayed down, retested, stayed down, came up, dropped down here again, and then came back up, and then it continued up to here, where it then dropped down and tested it. Now, because it was resistance before, now when it breaks up and holds, now it becomes support. Then it comes back up here, drops down here, still is finding it as support, coming up here. Now we could be ranging. That's another possibility. We could be ranging. It could come from up here where it's at, come back down here somewhere between here and here, and then come back up here, and then come back down here. You know, we don't know. We just wait for the market to. We go down to these smaller time frames, and we dial it in. We look for these areas, like some smaller confirmations, like other zones, and it's all about levels. There's levels with this. So there's going to be multiple areas as it's heading down that you might find like another, engulfing candle somewhere. Here's another engulfing candle right here that, but I'm looking, like I said, I'm looking for the area that makes the most sense. So this has been touched multiple times here, here. If we go left, it comes down. I mean, that flash crash went a long ways down there, but you can see how it follows right along in there. And these zones will change as you go on. To the right as I can't see into the future, but these zones will maybe change a little bit with new ones. They'll create new ones that are maybe a little higher or lower than the last area. There'll be a new supplier. It might be around the same area, but you know, these are the things that I look for, and this is what I'm waiting on. We'll see by the end of Sunday going into Monday what the market's told us, and then we'll make a determination. So I hope this video has helped you guys maybe make some adjustments to some of your support resistance lines, supply demand zones, and like I said, there's no wrong way. I'm not gonna say there's a right or wrong way to chart up a chart. To draw up a chart, and it's open to interpretation. On everybody sees it a little bit differently, but that's my analysis of what we're looking for UJ to do. It's either going to continue going up after the confirmation, or it's going to come back down here to this area potentially. So thanks again, guys, for taking a second and checking out my video. Remember, if you like it, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed.